Honey, what's up, crew? I just kind of feel like, so I'm recording in ATL. Yesterday was a Black Effect podcast network event. I didn't get a chance to print out my outline, so I will be using everything on my computer today. And this is the beauty of podcasting, because I get to do it whenever. So super excited. And I literally got to be checked out of this hotel at 1 o'clock. I was moving so slow today. So we just gonna hop right into this thing. All right? What up, crew? What's good? It's your girl Sade. Super excited about this week's episode because I am live from ATL. Yesterday was the Black Effect Podcast Network event, and I had an absolutely amazing time. Check out the Instagram at the Crew Book Club, and you can see some behind the scenes. I'm gonna definitely I recapped. So if you missed my live recap, I am going to do a little reel or something for you guys to check it out or whatnot. But I had such a great time. It was inspirational. It was just a beautiful thing. And so I was just like, let me record a podcast before I get back on the road so you guys' episode can be locked and loaded for Monday. Because just listening to Tess speak about being consistent and being dedicated to your craft and knowing that you're doing your purpose, all the money, all the whatever that's gonna hold you down for me to be able to do this full time will come. And I'm just in the process and I'm enjoying the process. And after I did this DISC assessment, and it really helped me understand I'm a person who knows what I want, but I also need to slow down and get into the process more. So, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I've accepted, like I've become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I've accepted a process, but I'm not working the process. And that is where I am today. I'm working through the process. Okay. So I don't have much time. I gotta be at these people hotel ASAP by 1 o'clock, and it's 12:18. I don't want to speed through the episode, but I definitely want to give you the gist. So let's just hop into it. First, we're going to get into the segment of the show that we call Who Gon Check Me Boo? God is. He is always checking us, and he constantly keeps us in check, okay? And we deserve a good check. You know, this particular check comes from Prayers and Promises for a Woman, and it is on page 76, and the focus is hope. And there was a scripture, Romans 15:13, that said, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." And then it made me think, like, okay, what is hope? Because we say, oh, I have hope, I'm hopeful. But what is the definition of hope? The definition of hope is the feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen, a feeling of trust. Now, that is the ultimate thing in the relationship with Christ, is to trust him and he trusts us to fulfill his purpose and his will. And may the hope of God fill you, because I need to always know that I can trust him. And in the passage, it said, God, because I can trust you, I can believe for a good outcome in any situation. I am filled with hope as I await your answer, your solution, your response to my needs. Your promise turns impatience into expectation and waiting into joy. Thank you for the gift of hope that is alive in me. Let me tell y'all, this is what I was talking about in the beginning, about the process. I want to have so much hope in Christ that I can wait and be filled with hope in the process of waiting for his answer, waiting for his solutions, and his response to my needs. Because a lot of times I could be quick to respond to do things because they're on my quote unquote to-do list. But if it doesn't align with what he needs me to do, those things would not be fulfilled, or they will be fulfilled, but with stress and with worry, and that is not how I want to move. And you shouldn't either, okay? And the question that prompts at the end of the passage was, knowing that God always hears you, what can you be hopeful for? And I literally wrote, because in this season, I said, I can be hopeful that I can survive in my marriage, whether it ended or whether it was resolved. And I will find the love in Jesus and what he wants me to do. And that's my hope right now. I was like, I don't want to make any irrational decision about how my life should go in any perspective, whether it's my career, whether it's my marriage, whether it's my relationship with my kids, like the friends that I have, no matter what benefit they may bring or don't bring, how does God need me to move in any situation? And so I just want to encourage you to have hope in any situation and trust that God is going to give you an answer and a solution and a response to your needs. Okay? You see how that can check you, boo? And it's a good check because it keeps us hopeful. It keeps us filled with hope. And so that's why I always say we deserve a good check. Because moving out here without God, it ain't it, sis. Okay? Last episode, it was called Delegated, sis. I want to delegate everything to God in my life. So that was that. And, another thing I highly suggest you delegate instead of to your friends. And it's therapy. I delegate to you to go get some therapy. I was at the podcast festival yesterday. It was a conversation from Big Facts podcast about if you tell your friend your business and then your friend go talk to another friend to get advice, not that you telling a friend that you asking advice for the friend's name of the business that you speaking of. And the guy was like, no, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. And it was just like, no, you need to talk to somebody. Yes, we have God to talk to, but I definitely feel like God blesses us with therapists to talk to as well. And that's why I have this affordable and convenient partnership with BetterHelp. It's a special offer exclusively for the Crew Book Club podcast listeners, and you get 10% off your first month of professional therapy. So click the link in the show notes or go to betterhelp.com/crewlove. That's betterhelp.com/crewlove. Okay, so get your therapy on. Get your therapy on. I am signing up again for therapy, and this time around, I'm committing to going monthly, weekly, no matter what. I have a high intensity of stress in the job that I have, and keeping calm, but being able to express myself to a therapist is important. I want to have a baby, but I realize I don't have that mom thing. So I feel like I have to go to therapy to figure out why having a baby brings so much or so much concern and worry. I'm like, okay, if it's meant to be, just processing my mind and my thoughts. I went to therapy before I had my second daughter, because I struggled with giving birth and not feeling like that mom love that everybody talks about. I struggled with finding it, and I felt like therapy helped me process all the emotions and feelings in my mind. So therapy, it works. It helps. It definitely helps you process your thoughts, and that's where I be struggling. So anywho, besides, I thank God for the therapist that we have, and that's a gift. That's definitely a gift. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into chapter 10 of We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. And I did slow it down towards the end because y'all know typically I do 2 chapters. But because I feel like money is such an important topic, and these last few chapters really was juicy, and I didn't want you guys to miss a lot of the really good keynotes, I slowed it down. And so we're going over chapter 10 only today. And this chapter hits home for me because this is currently where I've come out of my relationship with money. And I'm going to really be vulnerable I'm gonna really be open about how I am dealing with money and rediscovering my relationship with money. So be ready. The first sentence in the chapter says, I always believed I was bad with money, and I had lots of evidence to prove it was true. When I think back on it, what I was buying with my credit card was an escape for the challenges of being broke. The clothes I brought were an attempt to upward mobility. If I could look the part, maybe I could become the part. You know, that fake it till you make it. Heck no. She says also, it wasn't long before I acquired additional credit cards that was way over my head, interest racked up, but my income did not. Eventually, I started paying late and then missing payments. Before I knew it, I had a credit score of 480 and ashamed to go with it. Y'all, your girl, mine had got so bad right out of college, a bit was like at 425. And I was just like, no. And I had this revelation in my mind a few years ago, right after COVID, and I ended up getting my credit score up to a 719. And I moved into the house, and my husband and I agreed, oh, well, I'll just use my credit to get the furniture of the house. Lord, worst thing, because it's like spending on a credit card was like a drug to me. I had got it under control, but the moment that I started buying stuff for the house, I used that as an excuse to spend, and it just got ridiculous. And then she says, like, in addition to unpaid credit, you know, you get it hits your bank, you get overdraft fees, which I've been there, and you know how to get the overdraft fees changed. But when you think about the time and energy it takes to put yourself into that situation, it's a waste. And she says on page 198 as well, as you can imagine, this song and dance was exhausting, embarrassing, and wasting mental space that I could have been using to figure out how to make more money. I was ambitious and focused on getting the education I needed to advance my career, but I didn't know how to make money in the meantime. That is kind of where I'm at, because I make money doing real estate, but it's not where I need to be, where it's comfortable enough. There's times have I contemplated, you know, I need to get a job. I might have to get a job. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I'm becoming to understand, like, what I'm projected to make in the next few months can sustain me. I just need to know how to properly spend it. And that's why this chapter is so important to me, because it's about having systems. And so she says here, even when I became a successful entrepreneur, I was living hand to mouth because I had so much debt to pay off. I make just enough money to cover the cost of attending conferences, but I never factored in let's get lunch together that eventually happened. What those broke ass years taught me in this story, that money is scarce. And spending money to enjoy life will lead to poverty and humiliation. And she's not saying that you shouldn't enjoy life. It's just how we use the funding. You get what I'm saying? So she says, at the end of the day, that's what being good with money is about. Trusting yourself with money. So we have to get rid of that notion that we're bad with money. We just need to learn how to trust ourselves with money. Oh, that goes to being hope-filled in ourselves and how we process our finances. And trusting in God, whether that's tithing and asking him how you should spend your coins. Okay? She says here, when scarcity thinking takes hold, you don't trust yourself, and the lack of trust actually leads to terrible financial decisions. I've been here. She had an exact story. You end up getting a new mattress that's $1,200, but you see zero interest, and if you're not careful, that mattress can turn into a $3,600 mattress to pay 2 years off. And it's like, is it really worth the $2,400 of interest instead of just saving the money and paying the $1,200 of the mattress? You know what I'm saying? Or because of scarcity thinking, you're afraid to set up automatic retirement savings that go into your retirement account every month because you're afraid of not having enough, so you don't save. And it's like, whoo, this was coming from my spirit, y'all. But I'm happy. And this is why you have to read the things, to learn the things, to do the things, to be better at the things. You feel what I'm saying? All right. So on page 201, she says, one of the simplest ways to learn to believe in your ability to figure out financial problems is to create financial systems. Woo. Yes. Because one, it's important because if you have systems in place, they're designed for abundance and you will be making abundant financial decisions. And at some point, y'all, we have to grow up. And that's the definition of adulting. Handling your business, handling your finances. And then you have to know that we are valuable. We have legacy. Especially being a Black woman in America, you know, we come from slavery, and it was set for us not to have legacy and money. And as much as we fight for reparations, y'all, we still need to do, even if they gave you the money, will you know how to handle it? You get what I'm saying? Or will you squander it away? And she says, chances are you have not and will not inherit wealth because of our legacy, right? But listen to this. In 2016, the net worth of a typical white family was $171,000, 10 times more than a typical Black net worth of $17,000. And since then, the numbers have gotten worse, not better. So that alone can be devastating, she says, but we can fix this. Let's start by fixing our own personal financial system so we can get in a place where we can spread the wealth. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to take my personal experience with financials. And this is why I say in the Crew Book Club, we're going to read books that's going to challenge you financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, personally, all of those things, because we want to be well-rounded, right? So let's get into this. What gets measured gets managed. This is where I be like, okay, let's measure it and let's manage it. Okay? I used to I hated having conversations about money. Like, okay? So she says here, avoiding your money situation will only lead to less money and less power to create a better world. And that's like, get big. Let's talk about our world. A better world for your kids, for your family. Let's start in our world, okay? Before we can change everybody else's world, we gotta change our own, all right? Tackling hard things begins with one small step in your willingness to look into the shame and guilt. Don't run, girl. Look inward and let's figure this thing out, all right? On page 203, she says, make an energetic claim for the wealth you're building by setting up proper systems to manage your soon-to-be empire. You gotta be moving in it, girl, okay? Plan for the financial life you want, not the one you have. Get ready, get ready. What Pastor TDJ say? Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, so 85% of Americans feel anxious about money. 56% feel awkward discussing finances with someone else. 20 to 70% would rather endure pain at the dentist than discuss money. Y'all, the temporary pain that you're going to have discussing your funds is going to help you catapult yourself into a better empire for your family, for you, peace, okay? All right. And I like this on page 204. She says, but the tragic thing is, if you're unwilling to look at your money, talk about your money, make a plan for your money, and create systems for your money, then you are keeping yourself in a financial prison, and you're serving a life sentence by choice. Babe, we all got choices, and this is a choice. I'm not gonna choose to be in prison financially. You're not gonna do that either. We're gonna make it work, okay? So she has this other, you know, she's really good at having these words of affirmation to shatter the shame, the wall, to pull yourself out of your mindset. You know, she has this section about systems can be joyful and how to do that. But I really want to tap into create your $1 million systems, okay? Because once you switch your mindset, these are the things you need to do to get towards your $1 million system, okay? 1, track your net worth. And I know some of y'all are thinking, well, I don't have no net worth. I ain't making a lot of money. No, baby. Your net worth, we all have net worth, whether it's in the red or in the black, okay? But you need to know what it is either way so you can get better at it. And if you're in a red, you need it more so ever because you need to get to the black. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, so find a current financial software and check your net worth every month. That can include student loan debts, credit card accounts, bank accounts, where you can link it all and it can kind of tell you your net worth, right? And it can be shocking and the numbers can hurt, but it's going to help us. 2, another way to create your $1 million systems, track your credit score. Okay, good credit gives you options. I want you to have all the options in the world, she says. Get a copy of your latest credit report. You can also get your credit report from current bank or credit companies and sign up for Equifax and Experian monthly credit tracking account. This way you can see what's affecting your credit, and find out how to fix your credit or keep it steady. Okay? 3, research incorporation and open a business bank account. Oh, y'all, I understood this because a lot of us think, oh, I'm a small business. I'm not. This is a side hustle. It's just something I do on the side. Girl, doing that hair on the side, doing the nails on the side. I don't care, cleaning people's houses on the side. Put that thing in an LLC, because to do hair, you have to buy machines and product for nails. To clean houses, whether you buying the stuff from the Dollar Tree, you still got to spend money. And if it's properly in an LLC, you can get paid back. Personal experience. I didn't think I needed to LLC the podcast because I was like, I'm just starting out. Why would I do that? I think it cost me like $550 for everything, like my LLC, my trademark. I think $550, no, probably like $850, almost $1,000. Don't quote me, but still, I did trademarking and I did my LLC. All the money that I spend monthly on subscriptions to keep the podcast at anywhere you get podcasts, the money that I spent on my mics, on my ring light, stuff for the masterminds, t-shirts, all that money that I put out, I was able, or my mileage driving around doing crew book club stuff and tracking that, I was able to get money back from the government because I had it properly licensed and with my business. Now I'm properly using my business accounts and it's all beneficial to making money. Okay? So definitely do that. You know, no matter how small you think you're starting off, my best advice, just from personal experience, get yourself LLC and get your business bank accounts. And it's not hard. It is not hard. Okay. Oh, and if you're already a business owner in your LLC, don't forget to renew your license if you're in Florida. I don't know about anywhere else, but I had to learn. I was like, oh, snap, I didn't even know. Thank God my CPA told me, and I had to renew for $150 online. Easy, breezy process just to keep my business flowing. All right? 4, the fourth way to create your $1 million system. Get a bookkeeper and check your finances daily. If you can't afford a bookkeeper, cool, but you can afford to get like, you know, like a software like Mint or Personal Capital for your business, QuickBooks for your business, where you can link all your bank accounts and it categorizes everything for you. But you want to keep track of your finances. Even if you don't have a business account, you still should be waking up and checking and seeing where your money is being spent. One, to avoid overdraft fee. And you'll be surprised how much stuff people miss coming in and out that they could fight or don't even realize they're paying for. You need to manage your funds, whether it's big or small. And I'm learning that. Okay? The 5th thing, and I think that's the last one. Go to Money Church every week. She has a group coaching session where they have a money mindset and they coach their clients about important decisions that affect their finances. And this is not a worshiping money experience. It's a weekly pleasurable date with your money. Carve out the time weekly, recurring 90-minute time slot on your calendar where you can not get distracted and get into your money session. During this time, you will review your books and your latest bookkeeping reports. Write down any patterns you notice or personal ahas you have looking at the numbers. I did this recently, and one of my ahas is how much money I spent on fast food. Yeah, another thing she says in this section of Go to Money Church every week. When you take the time to focus on your money every week, 3 things will happen. 1, you will become more confident about the ability to manage your money because you're facing your shit. 2, you will challenge and over time eliminate your limiting beliefs about your earning potential. For real. Because once I dived in, because usually my husband does all the money stuff. But once I dived in and did it by myself, because he didn't show up, I was able to feel like, oh, shoot, I got this. I can do this. And it felt good to organize my finances. It motivated me to really check my spending and make sure I'm properly transferring funds to my business account and I'm really watching out for myself. Okay, 3, you will get better at making money. Because now I'm like, okay, if I spend this to do this, I can make money here and use this money wisely to do this, to save me money, to make more money. It's an amazing thing. She says, think of money church like going to the gym. It's an opportunity to stretch your money making abilities and to get stronger. The more you go to money church, the more money you'll make. In other words, what you focus on will expand. Okay? That was so good. I love having these money conversations. You know what I'm saying? This is just absolutely amazing. There was some other few tidbits on considering why you have debt and why your personal finances gurus drives me nuts. Yeah. You guys can definitely grab the book or listen to it. We have a partnership with Audible as well. You get a 30-day free experience, but you can check out what she says about that. One of the things I like that she did address is that having debt does not mean you're stupid, reckless, or careless. You know, debt is nothing to be ashamed of. We all have it. It's just considering why you're in debt. She discussed it. That way you can give yourself a free pass to accumulate debt, but rather acknowledge that we don't jump into debt for stupid reasons. It's like there's good debt and bad debt, and we just have to consider why we're in debt and how we're using our debt. Okay? So, I want to tie up the chapter with discussing to erase debt, focus on expanding and not shrinking, because these are things that I was personally told myself. She says, women are often told that the best way to erase debt is to trim expenses and tighten their belts even more. Stop drinking lattes, stop buying shoes. Do you really need the Fenty highlighter by Rihanna? Yeah, I do. I need my skincare. I'll drop a dime on the skincare. But she was like, consider this. Believe in yourself, start thinking bigger, and figure out how to generate money. Okay? You know, whether you're shrinking, whether that's cutting the Netflix subscription, you can clip coupons, you can argue about your cell phone being cut or doing those things, but that's really only going to save you a few $100. And that's not going to be a definition of whether you become wealthy or not. If anything, use that energy to focus on expanding. She was like, if you spend 5 hours a week coming up with a plan to generate an extra income, then what you focus on will expand. When you focus on expanding rather than shrinking, this is $1 million decision that changes your financial situation forever. You know, have that latte and make your coins. Okay? Maybe after you do the 5 hours of trying to expand your income or finding ways to do that, you go buy the latte as a reward. Oh, that reminds me, like in Time and Habits, when we're building a new habit, we do the habit and then we reward ourselves for completing it. But you can't get the reward without the work. All right? So take that and not try and do it. Take that concept in Atomic Habits and reward yourself after you've done the hard work with your finances. Okay? Now, that was chapter 10. $1 Million Systems. Wasn't that good? Now, the next thing we're getting into is the challenge of the week. And the challenge of the week comes from chapter 10 on page 215. And it's write a thank you letter to your debt. This is so good. It says write down 10 positive things that debt has brought into your life. Say thank you to each thing, whether it's an experience or a possession or maybe an expensive but valuable lesson. The more you view your debt with gratitude, the lighter it feels, and the faster you can move onward and upward with your life. So I'm definitely doing this. I'm at the hotel, y'all. I hope y'all heard it all. But yes, so I'm definitely going to write a letter to my debt and forgive myself for my debt so I can move on, continue to move on, because my debt will not define me and I will grow to be wealthy. Not just for me, for my kids, and also for the people around me. And then more effectively, as I grow, you grow, and the world will grow. Okay? But I got to start with myself. We got to start from within, y'all. But yeah, that's your challenge of the week. Write a thank you letter to your debt, which is inspired by page 215. All right, now let's get into what would the crew do? Yes. What would the crew do? Yo. The crew was representing when I was at the Black Effect. One person recognized me from my podcast, which was absolutely the most wildest experience. Like, That was stupid though. She was like, ain't you the girl? She was like, aren't you the girl who reviews books? I was like, yes. Thank you, crew. That's so much crew love. And then I saw Maxie, the author we interviewed from the episode Love You More. I met her in person finally. She has a new book coming out. Like, the crew, I love y'all. Like, and then I had a phone call last week from Cara. She said she was leaving a review. And darn it, I am on my phone, Cara. I know you left a review. I really appreciate it. And I think another person left a review, Abby. I'm going to read them on the podcast next week. I literally am using the phone. I don't have my my other phone to see exactly what you guys said. So I will share that. But you guys have been showing up and showing out. So thank you so much for the crew love. Thanks for leaving the reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And the written reviews. This really, really helps. Thanks for sharing and tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. And, you know, whenever you see me out, say what's up. All right, so this is what would the crew do, ask advice. And this was emailed to me. And it says, I quit my job 3 months ago to do real estate full time since I'm living with my mom. My mom is super supportive and mentioned I could live with her without paying any bills until I save enough money to buy a house. My thought process was, since I have no bills, I can start a new career, build that, and then buy a house. I haven't had a deal yet, and the money I saved is going a little faster than I thought. What should I do? Okay. So, I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that you were staying with your mom to buy a house, I don't know what type of job you had, whether it was, but whatever it is, it was consistent income that you were getting. For you to be an agent, and you know what? You are a new agent. 3 months in, honestly, there's agents who come out the gate, big bank, you know, depending on their sphere, and that's them. But a lot of agents don't. Your average realtor makes $40,000 or less a year, okay? I'm your average realtor, okay? So that I'm just keeping it 100 with you, because the way the market, like right now, I'm currently your average realtor. So when you're an entrepreneur, you need 2 years of consistent income paid to yourself properly, not you charging off everything, making it look like you didn't make no money. You got to show that you're making a significant amount of money to buy a home. Unless you're doing an investment property where you could just come up with a 25%, show that you're in your closing costs, show that your this property will rent out, but you know you're gonna have tenants in there. But other than that, you need income. Now, my suggestion to you would be, I don't know how much you save for the time being, but I recommend people save 6 months to a year of their lifestyle before they end up quitting a job. Use your current job as an exit plan. Now, the fact that your goal is to buy a home, now that is a whole nother story. If I were you, I think you have until 6 months before you have to work 6 months straight to get pre-approved again. Take your behind back to work. Go back to work where you were at, okay? And apply for the mortgage. See how much you can afford. If you're not happy about that, just remember your first home is not your forever home. Buy something of your own. So that way you can have it, and over time it builds equity. You can get something else, rent it out, start building a portfolio. But you need consistent income. And if you had a job, go back to that job, work, get the house, do real estate part-time, use it as passive income. If you can't get to a person because you're consumed with your current job, refer it out to another agent. Hey, refer it to me. If you live in Florida, you didn't tell me. That's another thing. Share your business and your realtor information, because we could network. You could refer the clients to me, and I can cut you a fee for a referral fee. So you can use your real estate license as passive income and still work until you save enough, get your house to be able to afford to do real estate full time. And that's what any career, y'all. Like, use your current jobs as exit plans. Don't just quit without really digging into your systems, okay? So that would be my advice to you, all right? You can always email askadvice@thecrewbookclub@gmail.com, or you can DM the Crew Book Club. And when y'all talk about entrepreneurship and things, share your business so I can shout you out. No question is a bad question. We're all learning here. This is a safe space, okay? And I won't say your name if you don't want me to, but you're building a business. You got to put yourself out there. All right. Now, we're going to end the episode because I got 10 minutes, so I got to be at these people's hotel room. And the quote of the week comes from page 200. And it says, when you believe in your ability to make money and your ability to figure out financial problems that may come your way, the constant financial anxiety starts to dissipate, and you start to making better financial decisions. Oh, I said that word right. Y'all heard me pause. Dissipate. Jesus. Let me say it again. When you believe in your ability to make money and your ability to figure out any financial problems that come your way, your constant financial anxiety starts to dissipate, and you start making better financial decisions. So, crew, what financial decisions are you making that will help you be in a better financial position, mentally and figuratively? Y'all, let's be about that action. Trust God, have hope in Him, and get to the bag. All right? Thanks for tuning in to the Crew Book Club podcast. I appreciate and love y'all. And nobody ever told you, you the ish. And I will see y'all right here next week on the Crew Book Club podcast. Hey!